Okay. Dev_3 asks, do you brag? What's the line between bragging and just advocating for yourself? I usually downplay the things I did. Recognition should be coming from people around you and not from yourself, right? No. That's not how it works. That's how I feel, but maybe that's not a good attitude to have professionally. You said it, not me. I brag during one-on-ones to my manager so he knows what I'm doing, and during performance reviews so I make more money slash don't get fired, and that's about it. Well, that's a baseline. That is something. I do love giving compliments to my teammates because I think that's just awesome and helps build trust. Yes. A staff engineer on my team who got promoted maybe a year ago talks up his work a lot during stand up. Sometimes I feel, just keep it to the point so we can move on. Yeah, we all know that feel, Dev. But maybe he got there because of this. He does have more years of experience, been in the team longer, etc. But it does make me wonder. Or maybe the answer is it depends on the boss. You just have to keep being you. So, how do you share your work with the people around you? All right, Dev. I think, first of all, you already know the answer to your question. You're framing it in a way that's not helpful for you. You know, you can tell already, right? This is not the right attitude. The reason this is not the right attitude is just because it doesn't work. It's not that it's good or it's bad or it's moral or immoral or anything like that. You're framing it as like, oh, this is the way it should be. Just look at it from a standpoint of like what's effective and what's not effective. The fact of the matter is, people are not thinking about you most of the time. And it's incredibly selfish to think that I should just be awesome. I'm awesome, and I'm so awesome that people are just going to notice how awesome I am, and I don't have to talk about it. I don't have to help frame for them how I want them to think about me. Because the reality is, you already do this. You do a lot of the framing for other people already. You just don't do it with intent, and you should be doing it with intent. By the way, this is not called bragging. Bragging is what if I'm bragging, my intent is to get you to think of me in a certain way. It's about me. I want you to believe that I am awesome. When you're marketing, which is what you should be doing, when you're marketing, it's about helping the other person see how you are helpful to them. It's about them when you're marketing well, right? It's not an annoying thing, which is what bragging is. It's a helpful thing, marketing, right? And you should be marketing yourself almost all the time in almost every situation. It's called being considerate. In a way, it's called being humble, right? It's a humility. I know you're busy. I know you got a lot on your plate. I want to be helpful to you. I want you to be thinking about me when you need help in a certain way, right? That's what your goal is. So, how do you do this? Well, number one, I think you should be taking the long view on this, right? You don't want to like stand. It'd be nice if you get some project that you just knock out of the park and you're forever cemented in the company as boss, baller, right? That'd be great. Probably not going to happen, right? Conversely, know that the negative part of this is possible too, right? You're able to lose social capital as easy as you can gain social capital. And so like something like getting drunk at the office party, right? That's negative. That's like a catastrophic event. Don't do that, right? So avoid the extremes or don't plan on avoid the negative extremes. Don't really plan on the positive extremes. What you need to be focusing on is day after day building up confidence in their mind, building up competence in their mind, building up the idea that you are useful to them for certain things in their mind, in the people that you're talking to in their mind, right? How do you do that? Well, number one, develop a brag sheet. A brag sheet it's an idea popularized, I think, by Julia Evans, or at least most recently, but it's not anything complicated. You write down your marketing materials. You put it all in front of you. You say, hey, this is a project that I did that was awesome, and this is why it was awesome, and this is another project that I did that was awesome, and this is why it was awesome, and these are the people that I work with, and this is how they're awesome, right? You want to know all the things that you want to be talking about on a regular basis. These are important things, and you should have them on the front of your mind basically at all times, but especially like you said during one-on-ones and code and reviews. But the way you want to be utilizing the information on the brag sheet the way that you want to be talking about this is from an angle of either just being excited in public. Number one, that's a great marketing strategy, is to just go to be in a public space excited about your work. People love this. They love to see excited people talking about the things that they're excited about. They may not track, they may not follow. That's okay. Just being hype about whatever it is you're doing is enough to make people attracted to you. That's enough. So that's one way of marketing in a good way that's not intrusive, that's not annoying. And the other thing that you can do is just look to help people see their situation, quickly reflect back, oh, that's similar to this, and just talk about your thing. They may not even be asking for help. They may just be talking about their situation. Oh, yeah, that reminds me of this other situation that I had. And bring it back up and try and open doors for them to talk some more about the difficulties that they're having and walk through the difficulties that you had and just share this experience together. That is the other form of marketing that's really easy to do, that you should be working on all the time. Just opening doors for people to talk about things. And again, with the background knowledge of all of the experience that you have to share. The other thing that you can do is to practice erring on the side of the oversell rather than underselling. Most devs and most people prefer to slightly undersell themselves. They don't want to come off, like they're bragging. But so what they do in compensation is they'll like only mention a awesome thing they did. They'll mention it one time, right? Just mention it one time. I'll put it out there that it happened, and that's good enough. Or they'll take something awesome that they worked on and they'll just, discreetly talk about like their little role in the thing, right? I changed a couple of config files and But the reality is the thing that you did was really cool. The end effect is really, really cool, but you're choosing to frame it in a way that undermines your role in it, right? So instead of, I edited a couple of config files on this really cool project. It's, hey, I worked on this really cool project with a bunch of other people. I wasn't the only one involved, and it was awesome. And here's why you should know it's awesome. It's A, and it's B, and it's C, and this person did this, and that was incredible, right? It's an opportunity to talk up everybody, not just you, but everybody. But then, like, when it comes to your role in the thing, okay, I edited a couple of config files. I'm sure there was something complicating about that. There's nothing simple in programming. Everything in programming is a pain. Talk about why it was a pain. Talk about the things that you learned during your experience on this cool project. Do not undermine yourself. Do not undersell yourself. Here's the thing. If you go too far, if you stick out in this person's mind negatively for a slight oversell, what's going to happen? They're going to forget about you. 2 days' time, they won't even know that incident happened. The only person that knows or cares is you, and you're going to do it again. And you need to do it again, and do it again, and do it again, right? Because, again, your goal is to slowly, over time, build up your image in other people's minds. To do that, you need to be slightly erring on the side of the oversell, erring on the side of talking too much about things. So maybe that's what this person is doing, okay, but you don't want to come off as bragging. So you do need to pay attention to your surroundings and who you're talking to and whether or not they want to be hearing what you're putting out there. The last thing that you need to be doing is branching out with your marketing. You talked about, okay, I have it during my one-on-ones and I have it during my review time. You need to be talking more. And you probably are, but you need to do it with intention, right? You need to talk to the other developers in your company and just, talk about their problems, and then talk about how you might be able to help on their problems, or how this other problem is related to their problems, or how excited you are about the thing that you're working on right now. Also, if you could talk to the skip level managers. You don't need to talk to just your manager. You sit down with the CTO, or it depends on how big the company you are, the director or whatever, right? Like, have lunch with them if they're available. Just talk to them and wait for opportunities to share openly. A good sharing, good marketing, right? You also can be talking to outside devs. You never know what opportunities will arise by being excited at a user group, or being excited online about whatever it is that you're working on, or by offering to help at user groups or online. Share your experience, share your excitement. People love those things. This is something that all devs, almost every dev I've ever worked with, almost every dev I've ever met, needs to get better at. You need to get better at not bragging, marketing.